Philippine Popular Culture and Experience Economy. Affective Networks Judy Dian. The language of victimization in the face of bloggers inflicting their boring lives, their obsessive lives, their sex lives, their pets' lives on the rest of us differs from the criticism of rabid political bloggers or snarky celebrity bloggers, all working round the clock to attack their specific targets and generally amplify and intensify the circuits of communicative capitalism. Anxiety about blogging relies on an image of world as a communicative one, a world wherein communication is ubiquitous and fragile, dangerous yet unavoidable. Body, Balse Nerissa. The Filipinas, breast, savagery, docility, and the erotics of the American Empire. In colonial documents, savage breasts were a sign of conquest. From accounts of European explorers such as Columbus and Magellan, the 19th century maps of the Pacific drawn by American cartographers, to American postcards featuring Native American women, the bare brown bosoms of indigenous women were markers of savagery, colonial desires, and justification for Western imperial rule. Musica Space Study or Nefertiti, taking an innovative post-colonial feminist perspective on transformations in the Philippine nation in the context of globalization. Tadiar proves the consequences of dominant Philippine imagination by examining a broad range of phenomena which characterize the contemporary Philippine nation, including the mass migration overseas of domestic workers, the prostitution economy, urban restructuring, the popular revolt toppling the Marcos dictatorship, as well as various works of arts, poetry, historiography, and film. Time. Jonathan Crary. Jonathan Crary's 24/7. Late Capitalism and the End of Sleep is a short, sharp polemic against the dehumanizing conditions of neoliberalism and non-stop marketplace and the concomitant demand for constant productivity and attentiveness. Crary begins and ends 24/7 by arguing that sleep is our last refuge from the affront of neoliberalism and its morass of stimulated needs. Sleep is an uncompromising interruption of the thief of time from us by capitalism. The stunning, unconceivable reality is that nothing of value can be extracted from it. We cannot be beyond neoliberalism by our personal and professional lives are enmeshed in its novelties. Technology. Rafael Vicente, The Cell Phone and the Crowd, Messianic Politics in the Contemporary Philippines. This essay explores the rules of the cell phones and the practice of texting within the context of the civilian backcoup that overthrew President Joseph Estrada in January of 2001, popularly known as People Power II. It focuses in particular on a set of political fantasies among the Filipino middle class, including their belief in the power of communication technologies to transmit messages at a distance, and it is their ability to possess that power. Communication from this perspective held the messianic promise of refashioning and the heterogeneous crowd into a people addressing and addressed by the promise of justice. Globalization. Benvenido Lombera. Tungkulin ng lahat ng mga progresibong guro at mag-aaral ang pagpapalaganap ng makabayan, siyentipiko at makamasang edukasyon sa loob at labas ng mga formal na institusyong pang-edukasyon. Sa ganitong paraan, ay malilinang at may papalaganap ang isang edukasyon na nagtataguyod ng kapakanan ng bansa, nagpapayaman ng diwang mapagtanong at mapanlikha at umuugat sa buhay at pakikibaka ng nakararami. Isa itong mabisang sandata laban sa rumaragagsang neoliberal na opensiba sa edukasyon at may napakalagang papel sa pagkakamit ng tunay, ganap at malalimang pagbabago. Identities and Pop Culture, Rolando Tolentino. popular culture and pleasure middle class. Education is different from popular culture. It is informal knowledge generated by media or media tools. The affinity of popular culture and formal education is that we both pay for the supposedly viable facts about identity, a requirements of being a middle class citizen. You study and most likely, you suffer and you buy into this ethos for the promise of possibility, not what is expected to happen. But, like investment, finance, and gambling, you reduce the risk factor for possibility to happen. Therefore, not only formal education is the passport to social mobility, even soaking in popular culture is also part of setting the promise of possibility. This is the new kind of intellectual capital in the immediate present in national era. Thank you for listening.